Hello student, in last video I have told you about the capacitor and today we will continue from this topic. And last video we have done the how to calculate capacitance of a different type capacitor such as spherical capacitor and parallel plate capacitor. One thing I want to tell you, in parallel plate capacitor, the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor is given by this expression. C is equal to K, it is dielectric constant, area of plate, epsilon naught, and D is distance between the plate. In this formula, the dielectric between the plate is filled completely between the space of plate of capacitor. This dielectric medium is completely filled between the plates of capacitor. Now, today we will continue from capacitance of a capacitor when the dielectric is partially filled between the plate of capacitor. Consider this is a capacitor, a charge plus Q is given to first plate. Due to induction, a negative charge induced on inner surface of second plate. Area of plate is A and distance between them is D. Now consider a dielectric slab of width T is placed between the plate of capacitor. The dielectric constant of this dielectric slab is K. For calculating the capacitance of this capacitor, first we need to find the potential developed across the plate of capacitor. So, potential, expression for total potential is potential in air between the plate plus potential in dielectric slab. Okay. E naught is sigma over epsilon naught D minus T plus sigma over K epsilon naught. This is electric field induced between inside this dielectric slab. Due to this charge, a negative charge induced at this edge and positive charge induced at this edge. So, electric field inside the dielectric is in this condition and inside between the plate in this condition. So, this is Q over A epsilon naught D minus T plus Q over A K epsilon naught into T. Now, take Q over A epsilon naught common, D minus T plus T over K. This is the expression for potential difference between the plate. Now, for capacitance, simply use C is equal to Q over V. Here, after putting the value of V in this expression, we get A epsilon naught upon D minus T plus T over K. This is expression for capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor when the dielectric is filled partially between the plate. Now, if T is equal to D, it means dielectric is filled in complete space between the plate. Then we get A epsilon naught upon D and this is K. And if in place of dielectric, if we place a metallic slab, so for metallic slab K is equal to infinite, then C is equal to A epsilon naught D minus D. This is the expression for the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor when a metallic slab partially filled between the plates of capacitor. Now case third, it was the case second first and second, and now case third, if T is equal to D and K is equal to infinite. It means a metallic slab, and instead of dielectric slab, we have placed a metallic slab completely between the space of plate of capacitor. Then we get C is equal to infinite. And the capacitance of this type of capacitor will be infinite. Actually, this is the capacitance of Earth. If we place a metallic slab between the plate of capacitor, the capacitance becomes infinite. Actually, this is the capacitance of not this capacitor, this is the capacitance for Earth. I have told you about the combination, series combination, parallel combination. Now, next derivation, energy stored in a capacitor. Now, I will explain you the expression for energy stored in a charged capacitor. Consider we have a capacitor is charged to potential V. So we want to find the expression for energy stored in a charged capacitor. So initially the small charge dq is given to this capacitor. So small work done dw is given by V dq. dw is equal to q over c dq. Now total work or potential energy is given by integration of 0 to q. 1 over c is constant q dq. So it becomes q square by 2 into c. This is the one method for calculating the expression for energy stored in a charged capacitor. We can do it from another way. Now let a capacitor is charged to a capacitor having total charge q. Then the small work done dw is equal to q dv. In this expression, we will start from that we have a capacitor is charged to total potential V, and in this derivation a capacitor is charged to total charge Q. So the total work is given by 0 to V Q dV. Q is equal to CV and C is constant, and after integrating V we get half CV square. So these are the two methods for calculating the energy stored in a charged capacitor. Now we have a formula U is equal to half CV square. We know Q is equal to CV. Then put the value of C. What is it? Q is Q over V. Q over V, V square half Q V. And put the value of V, Q over C, then half Q square over C. So these are the three formula in different terms. This is in CV, this is in Q and V, and this is in Q and C. Another method for finding the energy of a charged capacitor is graphical method. If we plot a graph between V and Q, we get a straight line passing through origin. The slope of this line represent capacitance. The slope of this line represent capacitance, and the area enclosed by QV curve represents energy stored in a capacitor. So from this figure, energy stored is equal to area enclosed by QV curve. So area enclosed by QV curve is, this is a right angle triangle. The area of a right angle triangle is 1 by 2, base is B into height is Q. So this is the graphical method for finding energy stored of a charge capacitor. Always remember, if we plot a graph between Q and V, we get a straight line passing through origin. The slope of this line represents capacitance, and the area enclosed by QV curve represents energy, total energy stored in a charge capacitor. Now our next topic is common potential. Common potential. Now our next topic is common potential. So consider we have two capacitors of capacitance C1 and C2. They are charged to potential V1 and V2. And the charge stored on each capacitor is Q1 and Q2. So if we connect them by a thin wire, due to potential difference, charge will move from one capacitor to another capacitor. Consider V1 is greater than V2. We know potential difference between 2 points is that condition which determines the flow of charge between those 2 points. So there are two capacitors having different potential, and if we connect them by a thin wire, charge flows from one capacitor to another capacitor, from higher potential to lower potential capacitor. And this process continues until the potential of both capacitor will be same. That same potential is called common potential. After connecting these two capacitors, now they act as an isolated capacitor having capacitance C1 plus C2. So from Q is equal to CV or V is equal to Q over C, this is common potential V, and this is total charge on this system of two capacitors, which is Q1 plus Q2, and the total capacitance is given by C1 plus C2. Always remember, in problems related to common potential, the capacitors, given capacitors, are combined in parallel sequence. Okay, that's why we take total capacitance here. C is equal to C1 plus C2. Now V is equal to, what is Q1? C1 V1 plus C2 V2 upon C1 plus C2. This is the expression for common potential. Okay. Now after connecting these capacitors, now the charge will redistribute on both the capacitor. So after connecting the capacitor, let the charge on first capacitor is Q1 dash and on second capacitor is Q2 dash. So what will be the value of Q1 dash? From Q is equal to CV, charge on first capacitor. After connecting them, capacitance C1 and potential is V. After connecting them, the both capacitors are on same potential. So if we want to calculate the redistribution of charge or charge on each capacitor after connecting them, then simply use this formula. Q1 dash is equal to C1 and V. Just like this, for second capacitor, Q2 dash is equal to C2 into V. So it was the common potential. For your homework, please revise all these derivations, and if you have any problem, please comment.